Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Between You and I podcast. This is episode 24. Today we have Candice Parisi on our podcast, and she is also called the Traveling Intuitive. She's on Instagram. She has a Facebook page. She has her own website. And I found out about her through my coach, Erin Gallagher. And she said, "Oh, you got to go check out Candice. She's so cool and she's so fun." And I did, and I loved it. I just like her personality a lot. And I signed up for a session with her, which was so fun and insightful. And so I just thought, I'm going to stretch and bring in some of the people that I'm really interested in, and she's one of them. So hope you guys enjoy it. Talk to you soon. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Between You and I podcast. This is episode 24, and we have Candice Parisi. Thank you, Candice.
Thank you.
Here.
Thank you for having me.
She let us know she put on red lipstick for this, and I think that's so cool. I feel flattered.
Yeah, I did. I had to do it, and otherwise you can't see my lips at all. They're super tiny.
It's very important for the audio to look your best.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. When nobody can see me, I need to make sure I look my best.
No better time to get gussied up. Yeah. Well, so you are also called the Traveling Intuitive, right? Yeah. And I was saying in the intro that I found out about you from my coach, Erin Gallagher, and I've known her for years, and I've just been working with her on my own intuitive life coaching business. And she was like, "Oh, you got to go check out Candice, Traveling Intuitive. She's awesome." Like, she was all about you. And I was like, "Okay, I will." And I just really liked your personality a lot. Like, I just was like, "Oh yeah, that's my gal." And then, oh, there you are. And then I got to sign up for a session with you, and I just really love your personality, and I had so much fun talking to you. It felt so natural, and it was insightful. And I was like, "Bingo! This is awesome." And then Erin's been challenging me to sort of, like, go for it, like, ask whoever you want to be on the podcast, like, reach out. And so I was like, "Okay, I'm going to reach out to Candice." And you were just nice enough. You were like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I want to do that." So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This is awesome.
It's going to be fun, right? So tell me, I know a little bit about your background, but I love, like, where does the whole name, I know there's a story behind, like, Traveling Intuitive, but I would love to hear, like, from you, where that all came about, the whole name.
Okay. Yeah. And so when I was a kid, I was seeing, spirit and hearing spirit, and I couldn't really figure it out, but my mom was a hippie, and she allowed it. And I grew up, and I had a bunch of teachers as a teenager. And then when I became an adult, I had to make a decision, either go to college go my dad's route, which was, he was a doctor, or go the intuitive route. And so I decided to, get a backpack and start traveling. And I took a year, and I thought I would take a year and just travel around the world and just see where my intuition would lead me and see how I would feel. And I stopped traveling probably out the extent of living out of a backpack. Probably it took about 12, 13 years. And so I got to travel all over the world, and it was awesome. And I travel constantly. I don't really have, I have a home, I have a couple different places that I can live, but I don't stay put for very long. And so I guess traveling, because that's my passion, and being intuitive is my passion, I figured the two pieces together then rings true to who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, you were going to go for a year, but you've really just like, you're like, no, this is who I am. So it's been like almost 13 years.
Yeah, it was like 13 years. So it's the time that I started school for a little bit and then I dropped out. And yeah, and so I landed in India for a long time and lived in, yeah, I made a lot of decisions that now as a full grown adult, I look back and I just think that that was super dangerous or a really bad idea. But as a kid, it didn't matter to me. And so and as an intuitive person, I just always kind of followed my intuition and not my brain. And that was the whole
Yeah.
point of the traveling, was to kind of go, okay, well, what's next? And I just listen and then take a left,
Wow.
Yeah, and so I just kept taking a left or a right for 13 years and spent a lot of time in India and a lot of time in Africa, a lot of time in Europe and the UK and different islands, and just ended up places
Uh-huh.
and always had a teacher or somebody teaching me something, or I was teaching something, when it comes to intuitive work. And I just noticed that I was always in the right place at the right time, and I just I didn't want to stop traveling, and so I do this job that I have as an intuitive, but I get to travel and do it. I can be anywhere.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and I can't imagine with all of your travels and teachers, like all the things you've learned like that. Like when you said that, I was like, oh my God, like who is she studied with? Like, and do you think that was part of the purpose, is to seek out new knowledge, things like that?
Yeah, I think that for me, I have a hard time. I don't have a strong judgment about things. I think that I'm kind of a wide open creature where I'm open to most everything. And so I dip my hand in all of the different things. And so, I spend a lot of time like with such a Sai Baba in India. I've spent a lot of time which is very like a mystical Hinduism, I guess. And then with Ramana Maharishi, which is more self-inquiry driven. And then, I had teachers that taught me, everything from the Kabbalah to, tea leaf reading to, I have a strong roots in Christianity. I love, the Catholic direction. Like there's not many directions that I haven't immersed myself in. And even just not weird, but niche directions. Like there's this, there's like I accidentally like kind of joined a cult once. And I got
Who
out of that
hasn't?
real fast. Yeah. And so that, just because I wanted to like, what is this? Like, why does everybody worship this old lady? Like, what is the thing? And it was fleeting, but it was interesting. And so I've kind of dipped into all the different things, and I don't have a particular thing because of that, but it's definitely enriched my ability to stay very present and not judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say like, yeah, how does, with all those kinds of pieces of knowledge, like, how do you look at the world? I mean, I bet it's rich, just with all the, I'm going to say it dumb, but like all the things, like, that are out there, teachings and realities. And I think that's really fascinating, because I think there's a lot more to the world than just like, I live this life. I get up, I go to work, whatever. I'm like, oh God, there's way more magic than I think we're ever told or can imagine. I mean, that's my choice, or that's my belief. And so I always wonder what else is out there, like what other knowledge. I kind of felt that way. I don't know if you've ever study like Native American stuff, there was a book I
Mm-hmm.
literally found in a free library. And I know if I said it, I think I have it over there somewhere. That was a woman studying with an elder, and just the things she was teaching her were like, what? Like just in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like, no, things are like this, or this is possible, or what, just way out there. And I was just like, if that's true, and most nobody knows about it, I'm like, are we? I don't know. That just kind of blew my mind. Like my head kind of broke open. Like, is if that's true, and we just don't know about it, think about what we're missing out on.
Yeah.
And then juxtapositioning that against like regular day life, I just was like, whoa, like where are we? You know, in terms,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, in terms of how we live and what we think is real and what's important and the way we stress over things that probably aren't important.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so it's kind of
Yeah, well, when in the American direction, I moved to Arizona to learn with Native Americans, and I thought that I would go to Arizona and like as a naive white girl, they would just take me in, and and that is not what happened at all. Had to live there for a very long time, and I slowly kind of worked into being a part of the community and getting to learn more and more and more, but mostly stayed on the sidelines until you kind of learn from the sidelines. But it was Native American culture is really interesting to me. And so at one point after spending years really building relationships, they asked me if I wanted to do a vision quest. And I was like, yeah, that's why I really want to do a vision quest. But Native American, that direction it's very like cut and dry, very like intense, right? There's no, it's not, no messing around. And so and so they're like, all right. So someone brought me out into a mountain range in Arizona and gave me 4 gallons of water and walked me up to a top of a mountain and then took my clothes and left me there with 4 gallons of water for 4 days.
Wow.
Just naked on a mountain. And like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but the idea is that it's mostly first of all, it's mostly for men who are becoming adults and they have a vision, and that is what their purpose is as an adult. And so I don't know how I weaseled my way into getting to do that, but I didn't understand it fully. I didn't understand the naked part, for instance, or the I wasn't going to eat for 4 days part, but it was a super interesting experience. And that's what I'm always going for when I'm learning. I want to immerse myself. I don't want to read a book. And so I got a chance to do that, which was incredible and magical and terrible, horrible. And, and then came back and they let me do a sweat lodge, which was horrible as well. And just, it's horrible because you can't breathe and you have to like breathe in the dirt. And it's the whole idea is that you go into the sweat lodge and you're reborn, and so you kind of die in there almost, like literally. And so it's all very much like an intense journey, the Native American journey, which is something I'm super fascinated with, and I've spent a lot of my life studying. And so I've had some really great experiences, but there's a big difference. I noticed that there's a big difference between like I'm studying Native American stuff and like being Native American is like they can I don't know, like I had to grow a pair for sure. It was different than what I expected, but it's definitely life changing. Like I want to have experiences that are life changing. I want to have those. I want to try all this stuff and not just say I know something. I want to be in it. Yeah.
It sounds like an
What?
amazing experience because, like,
Yeah.
yeah, how do you can't learn that. You have to do it. And I haven't done it, so it sounds wild to me. It sounds like an interesting time.
Yeah, yeah. And then at the end, I saw the whole idea is that you hallucinate, and which yes, you just time goes on forever. And I talked to ants because I was lonely. It was really it was a crazy time. But at the end, there was these beautiful horses that wild horses that ran like across the mountain in front of me.
Whoa.
And that was the juicy part. That's the point of it. Yeah. And so that's interesting. It's interesting. It really teaches you how, you're just a part of life. You're just one thing, and everything else is a part of you. And I don't know. I love all that stuff.
I do too. What I like about that is the stripping away of all like the excess and programming. And you're right. Like, cause when I meditate, for some reason, I'm really attracted. What calms me is the idea of like this, let's say Mother Earth, right? Like, well, the earth is going to be here. It's been here before me. It'll be here when I'm gone. And it's been here through all of our human foibles. You know what I mean? Like just things that are permanent beyond us are bigger than all of us. And so I find that really soothing, calming, and truthful. And yeah, there's something, it's funny. I was watching a documentary on ayahuasca. Like I just had a day where I was like, stumbled on it. But they did talk about the difference between that practice and Native American practice. And you're right. They talked about like the 4 days and, did you feel like a reconnection? Like, I know it's going to sound ridiculous, but sometimes when I think of, like when people are passing away and for humans, it's like, oh my God, that's terrible. I mean, when we don't really talk about death in the States, but sometimes I always think, wow, we as humans with emotions get really upset, but I'm like, think about the ant pile that gets stepped on and like 100 ants are dead, right? Like, but nature carries on all the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just minutia like that where, cause you're not alone out there, right? Like you're just out in their world, which is there every day, every night, just like, oh, well, welcome,
Yeah. Yeah. We think of ourselves as such a big deal, right? But at the end of the day, we just all die, And I think that that's the biggest teacher of all. Like out of all of the teachers that I've had in my life, nothing surpasses, that sort of connection to death and dying. I have I work and volunteer inside of my life with hospice and in that sort of death and dying direction, and just being with people while they die has been the biggest teacher of all. Like that, at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing. We all start the same and we all end the same. And in the middle, we forget to like be present, and we think we're important. But to be with somebody when they're having the last 200 breaths.
Yeah.
Like that, you get like, what an honor that is, that I feel that for myself, like I feel like that's my biggest teacher is, can I be present like that today?
Yeah.
Out of all the teachers and all the places and all the traveling, there's nothing that is a bigger teacher for me than that learning how to be fully present and as if like this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can relate. I think about that with, so my mom passed 7 years ago, and when she had an aneurysm, and lots of synchronicities happened around that, but we all, let's say all the kids, and her husband, my stepdad, her brother, like it just was, it was a good passing. Like we all got to be there. We had her quilts, pictures of the grandkids, everybody was around. And I literally had my arm under her and on her chest when she took her last breath. You know what I mean? And it sounds really sad, you know, like someone would say like, oh God, I'm like, no, but it felt like what you're saying. It felt like getting to be there felt good. I felt glad, you know, and I talked to her as she left, you know, like I was literally whispering in her ear. And also just to witness what the body does. I wasn't so interested in the body, but you know, I'm looking at the body. And I did just I felt grateful for all those good things, which helped me later in the grief, right? Like so you could rely on or lean back on something you're grateful, as opposed to fall in the abyss of sorrow, you know, like, which happens, right? You're sad, but but also what I realized was just on a deeper level than I could even explain or imagine, like understanding the individual specialness of each person. Like just now that person isn't on the planet anymore was something I would sit with for hours. Like just the idea of her and all that she was, or how she talked, or her not being here. I just sort of, you know, I was like, well, there's just her. Think about anyone who passes, right? Somebody who passes. And then I would go to the extreme of, you know, sometimes when you're watching like a war movie and there's like a huge picture of a platoon, right? Like, so it's just a lot of people in the picture. And sometimes I would look at that and think about my mom, and then look at this picture of like 100 people going, everyone there's dead. But everyone there is a single person. So each person I'm looking at had a life, maybe family, friends, a lifetime. Like, and recently I was talking to someone who was focusing on like connecting with, wishing for it, or connecting with like grandparents and great grandparents, just to sort of like, I wish now, and I think I'm only now capable of it, to say, I wish I know now what I might ask them about their whole life, because they were kids at one point. What were they like then? They were teenagers at one, or in their 20s, and that's a whole life. But when I was a kid, even growing up, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's grandpa. Like kind of one dimensional, like, you know, you don't know enough to ask, but it was sort of like, yeah, but grandpa had a whole life.
Yeah.
So, you know, like,
everybody's got a story to tell. It's just that we have to ask it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Have you ever studied or done ayahuasca and all that? I have not, but kind of scares the crap.
Yeah, you know, I haven't tried it. I haven't, but I have a lot of friends who have. And I hear that you go to the bathroom and throw up all over yourself. And I feel like maybe 10 years from now, I'll be up for that.
We should record a show where we do that, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel like I get it. Like I get the whole thing and I understand it, but it really like, and I understand too, like you're throwing up and you're going to the bathroom all over yourself, but you're high out of your mind, and so you don't know it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, what does it matter? But it just sounds like something that I'm resisting. I have a lot of friends who have retreats, ayahuasca retreats, and they're always like, come and do this. And I always say, nope.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Well, I would never, like, I would want to do it with traditional people, right? Like, I don't want to willy-nilly be taking ayahuasca. And some people have, like, you know, have all that purge, and then some people just throw up. But they talk about like, this is the purge. And what I loved in the documentary is they talk about ayahuasca, the plant, being the mother plant, the mother of all plants, right? And so they talk about her, like she comes to you with whatever message you need. And that if you're throwing up or even going to the bathroom, like you are purging not just your bodily fluids or whatever, but you are purging something. Yeah. And that it's not just the scary lack of control of your body, but that you that's what you're needing to do. And that's what you're needing to see at the time. And though it could be different every time, what you're meant to see. And so I really appreciated that, but I'm like, I'll be honest, when I'm like, that scares the crap out of me. I'm like, nope. I mean, at least today, if you asked me today, and I think that means I'm not really meant to do that, right? Like, that scares the shit out of me, literally, probably.
Well, right. Well, it's the lack of control, right? It's just this.
Yes, I definitely, I think, and I don't love that about myself, but that's how I feel. That's where I'm at. But they also talked about psilocybin too, and just that getting reintroduced into the world as something useful, like for depression.
As a microdosing scenario, I think that's fascinating.
I do too. Yeah. And that it's becoming okay, right? Like, don't you love
the people it's been helping? What I've heard is amazing. Like, it's like night and day, which isn't the case with the other medications, So
yes,
more power to it if that works.
Yeah, I had a friend who just went through a series of, what is the other thing people are doing? I won't remember. I'll have to remember. But she just did a treatment that was something similar, and you do 9 different treatments, and it's very subtle. But it is one of those things where you shift your perspective and it shows you something.
It's either ketamine or acid, right? It's one of those.
Ketamine. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, ketosis. No, it's not ketosis. No. Ketamine. 2 different things. Ketamine. And she's working through a lot of trauma. And so for her, she said it was profound because there's layers she didn't even know about. And it just kept, each session would reveal a layer where she'd be like, oh, okay. Or she'd get a different perspective, like, hey, you actually don't need to have this anymore, or you don't need to hold on, or this has no hold on you, really. It's just your mind that's been keeping a hold on it. Or just darkness, like old dark that just needs to come up. And so for her, that was incredibly helpful. And she said, you also have to be really prepared to do that too. She's like, because you're wiped out. I mean, if you're really healing up trauma, that you need to take good care of yourself. And she's like, oh, there'd be, 3rd or 4th session. She's like, oh no, I slept the rest of the weekend. Like, just because that's a lot to process as well. But I'm just fascinated by all of that.
I did mushrooms once, and I got on I took mushrooms, and then a couple hours later, nothing was happening. And I was like, I'm leaving this party. This is dumb. And then I drove home, and I don't remember how I got home, but I remember sitting in my driveway for 3-4 hours singing songs to the tires of my friend's car. and then I finally got out of the car, and my cat told me that she wanted to go in the freezer.
Oh, no.
And so I put my cat in the freezer, and then immediately she said, okay, I'm good. I ate all the popsicles. I need to come out. And so I brought her back out, and then we went to bed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
as you do.
As you do. And I didn't have that sort of like deep spiritual experience, but I was wackadoodle for sure for a little while. And I think that it's different for everybody. I am a real advocate for the sort of microdosing direction of, I think that can be really helpful for people. But I don't know that that's my extent on like, trying to have an experience. That's it. That was the end of the line for me. I was like, well, I put my cat in the freezer. I do not deserve to take mushrooms.
Apparently that's what happens when I do that. Yeah. I like all the things that potentially are about seeing things a different way. And, a lot of my coaching is with folks in midlife. And it's such a natural moment where, a point in your life where something's ending or something big happened, or a natural questioning of like, what now? Or, oh, this isn't working, but I don't know why. It's sort of like, I don't know what's happening, but something's not working anymore. And in so many of the conversations I'm having with people, it's just like layers and layers of trauma from a construct you thought you were supposed to participate in, right? Like, oh, I did all the things they told me I was supposed to do, like go to college, get the job, do the things within the job structure, and then do this, or, and oh God, I thought I was going to like work here forever and I got laid off, and now what, you know what I mean? But but everyone senses something's not right, or they're open enough, one, to come get coaching and say like, something's not working, what do I do? Like that's open enough, to say like, oh, you're questioning. Oh, that's good. And I don't know what you think of this, but I had this epiphany this week as I'm learning about what I want to teach. Like, it's still forming, right? But I had this clarity this week of part of what I really want to teach is there could be two paths, right? You follow the construct that you're told, right? Lots of programming, and this is what's right and correct, and this is what success looks like.
Yeah.
Which is you go get from a construct outside of yourself, rules and all this stuff, or you can reconnect back to yourself and intuition, which is real and a part of everybody, right? And learn what you like and honor that and follow that, trust it, and go do something you love and have things come to you, as opposed to you trying to work a construct. Like, oh, I'm going to go get that job, and this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to get the thing, and I'm going to whatever, and oh God, I'm miserable. Or you could say, well, let me stop and listen to myself. Let me go inside as opposed to outside, and go, oh, I like this, I don't like that, I'm going to follow here, I'm going to trust. And lo and behold, you build a life as well, but just based on this road. And I always thought, I'm like, either way, you can get things if you want things. One way is you go get them, and then the other way is you allow them to come to you based on following your heart and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm excited to dig into that more, because I just sort of felt like, oh, maybe that's a little more clarity around like the paradigm shift that I keep trying to look at or talk with people about. I don't know. I don't even think I had a question in there.
Yeah. Well, I think that like intuitively, like the intuition direction is always going to lead you to your happiest place. And so the idea that how I understand it, because I use my brain very, very little now. I don't, I've kind of broken my relationship with my brain, and I use it to tie my shoes or drive my car, but that's it. Like, I don't really use it to make my decisions in my life. And so the idea is to be able to, be able to connect to your intuition, which is really your personal assistant in your life, and be able to connect in and not only connect to the answers to what your passion and purpose, and should I take a left or a right, or what do I, what makes me happy, or who should I be with? But can you do that and completely trust and surrender to it? And because oftentimes what happens is we have an intuitive hit about something, and we're like, oh yeah, I really want, like, if I could have like the perfect life, I would like be a gardener. And then your brain goes, you can't be a gardener, stupid. How are you going to pay your Netflix bill? And so
Totally.
Yeah. Yes. And so your brain is always, its job is to make you survive. That's it. It's supposed to keep you alive forever. And even when you're getting close to dying, your brain's like, what are we doing today? Like, your brain's always going, and your body stops, and your brain's like, oh, okay, we're not alive anymore. Got it. And so and all the way to the end, it's like this hamster wheel of keeping you alive, where your intuition really is very present. And the truth is, you want to be a gardener. Okay. And your brain goes, nope, can't do that. And then which one do you listen to? And most of the time, a person listens to the survival one, right?
Mhm.
We're built to survive. We're built as cavemen to, go out, hunt, bring it home, do the thing. We're
Yeah.
not built to be, artists,
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the intuitive person, if you can really hone in on learning to trust it, and that was the whole thing for me when I was traveling and doing that, is that I wanted to see if it was trustworthy. And, if I made a decision to sell all my stuff and not be a doctor and put on a backpack, can I, just listen in and take a left, take a right, go over there, get on that plane, try that thing, and trust it, even if I didn't have very much money, even if it felt like it was the wrong fucking decision in my brain, in my heart, in my intuition, I was just going to do it anyway. And
Yeah.
it's never lied to me, and it's never put me on the wrong path. It's never done me wrong. But my brain, it's it's another story. And so I think that people really work from that, have that relationship. And so yes, when you do like a psychedelic, then it like your brain is pushed out of the way and you're having this like full force
Yeah.
experience that you can certainly gain by meditating a lot, or fasting, I guess, is another way people do it, but or just grace, just having an
Yeah.
experience. But I think that the key to my understanding of the key of happiness is neglecting the brain as much as possible
Yeah.
and treating it like it's a bad kid, and it's always going to be going, and that's good. That means you're a person, and being a person is important. But it's softening the music of it so that it's just like a background noise to your intuition.
Yeah.
Right.
I love what you said there about like the brain is about survival. Like
Mm-hmm.
that, I thought that was, yeah. Because when I'm talking to people, I'm like, I want you to move from your brain to your heart, to your intuition. And I love what you're saying, like, well, when you said sort of the brain is for survival, I was like, oh, that explains a lot of what I'm thinking or why I'm thinking the way, or why I'm wrestling with something,
Mm-hmm.
because it's looking for survival. Like, and it's usually based on like, well, you ought to, because, you know,
Yeah, and it's based on like what mommy and daddy did, right? And
mhm.
so it's based on these subconscious cues. Did your mom say no to you every 5 seconds? Did your dad never hug you? We're always just trying to get back to that sort of innocence of the first day.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so we just want to be loved that much, that endorphins
Yes.
our mom gives off. We're just looking for life to hold us like that. And so it depends on the dysfunction, I guess, in the psychological direction of that process for that child, to how they trust being an adult and trust making decisions for themselves, and who they choose in life is all often some trapped subconscious stuff in your brain.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that's so true. Like everyone just really wants to be at that center of like, I just want to be loved. I just want, to be at peace or be with my family, like pretty basic things.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love that. I mean, do you end up, so with I know on Instagram, you go live every Monday. Is it Monday or Tuesday at
Yeah,
7?
on Facebook I go live on Monday and Wednesday. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where would
And
people
do
find
you,
you online? We could use
oh
this
yeah,
to
do,
plug.
yeah.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
I'm on. It's Traveling Intuitive is the name of the page on Facebook. There's a Facebook group for Traveling Intuitive, and yeah, that's where I go live, and I teach a lot of classes in the group, and on intuition development, and then every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I go live and just do free psychic readings for people.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been on those. It seems like it's really fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a great group of people, and you're on Instagram as well, and you
Mm-hmm.
have your own website. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think, I mean, are you, do you think you'll ever write a book too about like your travels?
Maybe. I think so. I think that I just have to, I think I'm interested in doing that. I don't know. I don't, yes, one day.
One day, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm going to
That's
sit
a
down, I'm going to do ayahuasca, I'm going to throw up all over myself, and then I'm going to write a book.
that's the
In that
only way to do
order.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll just wake up and there'll be a book there in the freezer. You're like,
Yeah,
yeah, look at
woo,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
And
sorry,
now
I
I have
can't
a
write.
bucket list for,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
exactly. I'm sorry, I can't write without my ayahuasca, people. Can you
Yeah.
serve
Can
it up?
somebody slip me some ayahuasca and get me a bucket, please? Thank you.
Oh my God. Well, like, what's your favorite thing about going live? Like, what's your experience been? Like, do you have, yeah, what do you love about it?
I think that it's something that I started doing about 3 years ago. I've had a practice for, 17, 18 years, but about 3 years ago, I was like, you know what? I need to expose myself more. And I already had a thriving business, and I was, teaching a lot and standing in front of people and doing that. But I pulled away from it for a little while and decided, you know what? I'm gonna put myself out there and see what happens. So I started out the lives like trying to, really just making it like 15 minutes. I tell you self-carry things while I do weird things in life in public, and like just made it, strange and probably attention seeking, and then it shifted to, all right, I kind of want to build a community. I switched from the idea, like forever and ever, I called myself an intuitive, because the word psychic is just, it goes along with a whole bunch of things that
Yeah,
are
yeah,
not so great, right?
yeah.
And so, I decided that, about 3 years ago, I was just going to come out, I'm going to say I'm psychic, and I was going to change what psychic means and change the whole woo-woo-ness around it,
Hmm.
and, be integrity filled, and, show up, and, make it more, a little bit messier, and, be a human being that isn't,
Yeah,
that can be blunt and straightforward, and able to connect on a human basis. When it comes to my intuitive readings, my psychic readings with people, I'm kind of a one-trick pony when it comes to, I'm not very woo-woo-y. I'm very much like, if it isn't solid like a desk, it isn't solid, and it
hmm,
isn't something that can impact your life like right now.
yeah,
If there's things that I just don't connect to. If it's the auras of a person and things that aren't tangible and can't
hmm,
help you in your life this moment,
hmm,
it's just not something that I have in my wheelhouse. But I think that it's valuable, and it's valuable for other, people, and I know psychics who are great in other areas. But in the Facebook Live direction, where the reason why I like it is because it's a community of people who've really like hung with me for 3 years mostly,
yeah,
and so we've evolved together. We show up. I know these people like they are my friends,
yeah.
and there's 10,000 people just hanging out together,
Wow,
and all
that's
over
great.
the world. Yeah, we just hang. It's interesting to me, the idea that we're, thousands of people from all over the world hanging out. Somebody's like hanging out and they're in their bathtub. Somebody's eating dinner. Somebody, has it on their TV. Somebody else is, in their car hiding from their family. Like there's all sorts
Totally.
of different things going on. And, but we're all, really everybody comes together and just gives a crap about each other for an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah,
And that is super interesting to me. And then just the ability to be able to connect and give people, readings is like my
yeah.
passion. And so it feels like, um, it feels really fulfilling to me. So that's why I continue to do it.
Yeah. Have you seen any
Yeah.
growth in your online community because of the
Yeah.
situation last year?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for the situation of 2020.
Yeah.
The COVID.
Yeah, the little thing that's been happening.
Yeah, that little thing, right? Yeah, I for sure. Last year, I would love to stop talking about COVID anytime. Yeah, it's been a constant.
Yeah.
Between like last year was not just the COVID, but it was like strange things in people's lives, like hurricanes and tornadoes and fires, and I talk to people all day, and they're telling me, this is happening in my life, and it's a tragedy, and they've lost this, and they've lost their parents to COVID, and they've, my child just passed away, or this, and it's all like last year was like really like I don't know how to feed myself, help, and
Yeah.
and then in other places in the world, everybody has a different opinion on America that maybe isn't so sexy right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like I remember I talked to a woman, she was in New Zealand, and they locked down New Zealand when there was like, I don't know, there was like 20 cases or something, right?
Right.
And everybody went home and they just paid everybody, right? And she's like, and it was around the time that Tiger King was out. Remember the Tiger King?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And so she said, everybody here assumes that America is just a bunch of, the Tiger King, like everybody's the Tiger King.
Oh no.
And I was like, okay,
Oh,
good.
my God.
That's great.
Not
That's great.
100%, but maybe a little bit the Tiger King.
Yeah, like 80% the Tiger King. Yes.
Wow. Wow.
But it feels like other places in the world, kind of figured it out differently than we did, and cared about each other differently than we did, and but yeah, there's a lot of 2020 was a panicky year.
Well, and it's got to be hard too, because I feel like there's two like potential, like not two just experiences out of COVID, but like for some folks, you're right, they're losing family members or their loved ones, and like the people working in hospitals, like they're in it, like they're at the center, that's in their homes, like it's right there. And then I feel like other folks, maybe like myself, right? Like this time and how we've had to handle this time has been beneficial to me. I mean, I'm lucky, right? The isolation for meditation and growth, that's what I've used it for, is to silence and growing and all that, so there's a bunch of people who are sort of like, well, the getting to work from home, I'm with my family more, maybe I'm getting to reflect on myself or grow, I'm getting to stop and take a look at, maybe for our way of life, we're getting to see like, oh, it doesn't have to be the regular way. That always like blows my mind. Like people could be having completely different experiences. And sometimes if you're not in it, it feels far away other than the news. And then you read a story or you hear someone's life and you're like, oh God, like put yourself in their shoes, and it's not far away. And so I'm always, I don't know what I think about that, but I think on that. I think on that.
I think human beings, we need it to be, we have a low attention span oftentimes if it's not right in our face, then we're paying attention to what is in our face, which is the normal, like you can only digest so much. And so if, some people, it was, in their face in a completely different way. And I think that in some people, they didn't have that at all. I was like you. I was like, well, I guess I have a home office now, and I guess that I meditate more and I read more books, and I didn't get to travel. Oh, poor me, like it feels like, in that range. But, I think that Yeah, I think that people really had a hard time. And then it's, one person, one person's idea against another person's idea, where some people, they're not experiencing it and they don't understand what the big fucking deal is, right? And then
Yeah.
somebody else is like, oh, let me tell you the deal,
Yeah.
and I guess that's where, again, we have to kind of become one around things and have
Yeah.
unity around things and just understand that we're all different people. It's hard to judge. Like even people who have different opinions that, I don't have any really strong opinions about things, but, if there's, people who have the opinions that they have that might not be mine, only have the opinions that they have because that's what they know. And everybody's just doing what they know. And so it's hard to judge anybody's side because you just know what you know. And then you could know something else, but you don't, and so that's just how it is for you. And it might not be the same thing that I know or somebody else knows, but if we can all kind of understand that we only know what we know, and we're just throwing up what we know, and if you're a racist thing, but you're trapped in a jail cell with a black guy for a year, are you going to be racist in a year? Is if you are put in the situation, if you're put in a situation that's new, is your perspective going to change? Absolutely. And so I think that if you were, born in a town of 27 people, you're going to know what those 27 people know.
Yeah.
Unless you move.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think too, when, especially in this day and age, or, social media and all, it's so easy to like quickly react. Right. Because it's right there. And I mean, I've had reactions, right? Like that, this is what my reaction is, but I'm trying to always I think a lot too, you don't know that person. Like, you don't know their life. You don't know what led them up to this. You haven't lived every day with them. Like, I really try and put the brakes on to go, this comes from somewhere, either with whoever, right? Or whomever. I don't know your whole life. I guess that goes back to like my mom and people passing and the specialty of people. Like, people are complex, and what has shaped them is complex. It's not just, I mean, even if I'm not excusing bad behavior, I think about it. Like, especially in the political world, like, I shouldn't even dip my toe in that. I stop because I've got, so for the people who have people they grew up with, and you're divided one against the other. I mean, that has brought up questions. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, at least in my era, I don't know, where you go, whoa, what does this mean now? Like, now I look at you and I don't know what this means. It's so divisive. And I have to stop and go, okay, what was, I don't know. I desire, I guess, to go like, what was your everyday like? What has every day been like? Why are you here? Why am I here? Why do I think what I think? Like, what, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like connecting with other people is so important because then you get perspective about their life and you can share your life and we learn from each other and we grow and we evolve. And unfortunately, we've all been pretty locked down the last year. So it's like we're more like in our echo chambers instead because we're not cross-pollinating as much. And I think that's not a healthy thing for humans.
Right. Yeah. And it goes back to that sort of intuitive and brain scenario. Like, and I don't use my brain very much. So I don't have a lot of opinions about people that I don't know. If you're not, if you're not in my bed or you're not my family, I'm not super interested in trying to like figure you out. I don't watch TV. I don't really know what's going on in the political or whatever it is. And I don't personally think that there's any sort of gain for me knowing, but I am open to, I have, clients and people in my life and family members who have very, very strong opinions. And I think that, I'm open in one way or another around it. But what I find is the most interesting, and maybe it's my people watching fascination, but it's it's the fact that before, people didn't feel like they had a voice or a reason to use their voice.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we need things to get weird.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then everybody's like, whoa, wait a second. I don't like that, and I think that that's something that's valuable. And we do it every 100 years or so, where we're like, nope, I don't think slavery is a good idea. We figure some things out, but we only figure it out in the face of like, it's down to the wire and you better share how you feel. Otherwise, we're creatures of survival, where we're just like, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and keep moving,
Yeah.
And so 2020 definitely gave us that, where we're like, no, I have an opinion. And now opinions that I didn't know I didn't know anybody's opinion. And now, like, I know everybody's. And I don't know if I care one way or the other. But I think that everybody is speaking up, which I think, is important for human beings to do.
Yeah. And I sort of do believe in order for things to heal, things kind of got to get bad before they get good. Like the truth has to come out. And the whole thing about like stopping to go, wait, you don't know anything about this person, just the slowing down of that to become very present, to say, it's, instead of just flippant, instead of just like, whatever, I'm like, whoa, well, like slow down and think about that, or slow down and take in more than just a reaction, or and I think that's hard. I don't think that's not easy when you're emotional, and things are emotional and whatever, but it's I do think it's an opportunity to heal, like race relations within the country and politics and all that. I'm like, better to see the truth. Like, we need the truth in order to heal, like this, and now it's in your basket to like do something, you know what I mean? Like change, grow, share, do it different, in order to move forward. But it's uncomfortable, right? Like in whatever way.
Yeah, same with individuals. Like if you want to try to change yourself, you have to face all those facts and truth sometimes and move along.
Yeah.
Same with a group of people.
Yeah, and I think that often we might fixate on politics or fixate on this bigger picture far away that we want to feel like we're fixing and changing and being a part of, because it's easier to do that than to see what's in the 5-mile radius of our house.
That's true.
If we all cared about the fact that there's, probably 5-6 houses down, there's a starving kid, and there's probably a woman getting beat around the corner, and there's somebody being raped 3 blocks away. We don't care about that. What we're paying attention to is something that we can fixate on, that we think that we're helping by thinking about it or reading about it or watching it on TV, but we're really not doing anything really. But I think that if we all cared about our 5-mile radius, then we'd be all right. Like everybody would be okay. Yeah. But I think that, that's kind of, it's an avoidance of caring about people, there's an avoidance there. And I think that, but I think there's some value in that bigger than life, conversation too, that like we need to make these changes and we need to make these shifts and we need to, like, I get that as well. And being a part of those bigger things. But why is there a homeless guy on your corner? Why is he there? Let's talk about that, And so it's, I think that if we could all kind of do something with what's in front of us, then we can, we're really doing something, and then everything kind of changes, right?
Yeah, you got to start small. You got to start there to build up.
Yeah.
Well, and there's maybe a ripple effect, that kind of thing. No, I love that. Now I'm going to chew on that for an hour or so.
Yeah. Well, I lived in South Africa for a long time, and I stayed at this hospice, and I worked at this hospice. It was in an area, and there was it was a 70% HIV positive area, and very poor, and so it was kind of a revolving door of human beings. And there, but during the time when I was there was still like at the edge of the apartheid situation. So it was still like white people had their own thing, black people had their own thing. It was still quite racist. But I would work at night with the nurses that they just kind of pull off the streets, and they weren't really, they were just people who were taking, kind of this revolving door of people who were left. And so, and we would sit and up at night, and we would get everybody comfortable that's in this hospice. We would, and then we would sit around and just talk. And I would just listen to their life story and what they have happened to them, and how it's matter of fact that there's a pretty good chance that they've gotten raped as a child. It's matter of fact that you can't look a white person in the eye. That's just it. That's what we do here. And it's there's things that they don't know that there's a difference in. And it does, it hurts to obviously be raped, and it hurts to not feel equal, and it hurts to do those things, but it feels like there's no way out, right? And so now they have a job so they can feed their kids, but it's this really hard job where you just, you're watching people die all day.
Yeah.
And so we just sit around and talk about those things, and talk about how can we channel the energy of all those hard things into where we are now, and who we can help now, and who we can be now. And we would, just hang out every night, talk about stuff, and get angry about stuff, and get sad about stuff. And there's just some, the growing experience in just opening your mouth and expressing yourself, and expressing that's something that I've never said. I know as a Black woman that I can't go over and touch that white woman's stapler. I know that, or else I'm going to lose my job, and so, let's work through that. What does that mean? And starting from the place of where that is, instead of going, well, this is terrible, what are we going to do to burn this down? Instead of doing that, how can we, in the moment of who you are, grow and find a way to have humility inside of such a hard situation that's obviously changing, but not changing fast enough. And, learning how to, have being able to keep your job, and also not feel like you have to be oppressed to keep it. And, and so I think that it's inside of figuring out how to be connected fully with with who's in front of you, and then do something from there. Right.
Yeah. No, I think you're dead on right. But let me tell you, your life experiences, I can't wait for that book.
For sure. Yeah.
Ayahuasca Chronicles.
The Ayahuasca Chronicles. Oh, now you've got 2 books. Oh no, just the travels and the stories, and now you're going to go.
One will just be a picture book, right? Of me doing ayahuasca.
Oh my God. Well, Candice, I swear to God, we could talk for another hour. I just love talking to you. I'm so glad I met you. And, I think I was telling people too, I had a session with you and I just loved it. And, there's a few people, and I think everybody's had this experience, where you meet someone and you're like, oh, you want to be friends? Like, you know, like, and I was like, you want to hang out? And I felt like that with you. And it was nice to be able to like go, oh, okay, you want to be on my podcast. And you were so encouraging again, like your way, your spirit, you're so like relaxed and so like, all right. And I was like, that's my people. Like, you know,
Good
feel
energy.
like
Yeah.
super good energy. Like I did, I was just not worried at all. And I love that you were encouraging me. You're like, yes, intuitive, write it everywhere. Like put that on everything. And so I'm taking your advice, telling you that I'm doing it.
Good.
But I just love talking to you. So I just really thank you for being here. And and I
you.
really hope we stay in touch. I would really like to hang out again. I do have this deeper like fascination of having a gal pal circle. And the number one priority is that we laugh really hard. Like
Yeah,
I want to pee my pants laugh. Like
okay. All right. Well, thank you for having me on. Thank you two.
Thank you.
You both are wonderful. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Brian.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for listening.
Anytime.
Yeah.
And we're going to put links to all your spots. If there's anything else you want us to know, we'll talk to each other and we'll make sure that that's listed. And yeah, and I can't wait to put this episode up. I think it's awesome. I think you're awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that I got to hang out with you guys.
It'll be fun. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, perfect. I'll talk to you soon. And thank you guys so much.
All right. Well, thank you.
You got it.
Have a good day.
Bye.
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 She's so